So my name is Katulondi. I am a actor, presenter, entrepreneur, um, artist, creative, and yeah, just and I'm also an economist. But like, I do a whole lot of
Just
things.
to add to the mix.
Yeah, yeah. But I think I'm more popularly known for presenting and acting. I've presented a number of shows here in South Africa. For those who are in South Africa, I'm a presenter on a show called Top Billing, which is like a lifestyle show where we get to interview a variety of incredible people. We get to travel, we get to do different things like Fashion Week, get to check out people's incredible houses, the people who are making moves here in South Africa, or who are South Africans who are making moves around the world. So yeah, that's the show that I was presenting. Then I've got a cooking show as well called The Taste Master. We're looking for a chef that can also be a great presenter for
He
one of
can
our
cook.
other shows. Huh?
He can cook. He can cook.
But yeah, I mean, but on the qualification side, I'm actually an economist and econometrician. And then I've got my own companies, and I've got a charity called Just Love, where we just gather people, whoever needs to, or whoever has the ability to give, to take part in our outreaches. We send out a request, and then they come through, and then we go do an outreach and have just an amazing time changing lives. So yeah, that's basically the gist of Harmony. Just a super awesome guy that God decided to bless.
Well, I mean, for a loaded question, that was a loaded answer. So, so thank you so much. So, Harmony, I mean, there are lots of questions that I want to ask. So I know you're limited with time, so I just want to be able to ask the right ones. And I think, first of all, how we need to start is there's a lot of people that are going to be listening to you that are going to say, oh, well, you know what? The reason why he's doing everything that he's doing is maybe he was lucky, or maybe it was given to him, or maybe he's just wealthy. And the thing is that I want to be able to change people's mindsets, and I want to be able to say to them, hold on a second, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. You just got to put the work in it, right? So how did you first start in your, how should we say, the career to success?
So my journey is a bit of a tricky journey, because I was born in Congo, DRC, which is like basically the center of Africa. I was born in Congo, but my family decided to move to South Africa when I was like 3 years old. So we're talking 92. Now you have to remember, for those who know South African history, that was during apartheid time. But there was so much chaos happening in Congo that my family decided it's better for us to even come to a place that has apartheid, that we'd have a better life. And my dad really wanted us to, speak English, or to be in an English-speaking country within Africa. And so we came to South Africa in 92. Just the back end of apartheid. 94, Mandela got elected president. Hooray, celebrating. And a lot of opportunities got opened up. So personally, I started, when we're looking at the entertainment side, I was doing all the stuff for fun. I didn't really care about payment. I wasn't acting to get paid. I was doing school plays. I was doing church plays. I was repeating voiceovers just for fun. You know what I'm saying? I was doing all these things for fun. And then one day someone told me that, oh, can I pay you for this? I'm like, what? People get paid to do voiceovers? Like, I don't know that people get paid to do this kind of stuff, and luckily, the adverts, the modeling, the fashion weeks, and all that kind of stuff helped me pay my school fees for varsity, helped me pay my varsity fees and all that kind of stuff. But just to encourage all those people who are watching and are like, oh, he was lucky. It wasn't necessarily about luck. I literally just took the opportunities that were available. There are so many opportunities available to you, especially right now. We're living in an age where you can become a model just because you are great on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You are taking great pictures on your Instagram with whatever phone you have. I mean, you can have a bad quality camera, but have amazing filters and take it in such a way with good lighting, in such an angle where the pictures look bespoke, or they look artistic, or they look, and it becomes your own signature thing. Or you could be doing skits and your skits get picked up. You know what I'm saying? It's literally about pushing your passion and not giving up. I always have this saying where I'm like, do your best and then leave the rest to God. So you make sure you're pushing your hustle, you are doing all you can do, and God is the one who's going to open the doors. My name has been spoken in a lot of meetings where I was in present, you know what I'm saying? And I can't say that it was me that did that, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always saying that, you know, do your best, always be prepared. So when that opportunity does happen, when that door does happen, you're not trying to go practice at home. You're already prepared. You're already ready. And I think that was one of the keys to what it is that I've been doing. And also just being a bit open to different things. You know, we're living in a time of brands. It's no longer a time where if you're a doctor, you're just a doctor. If you're a lawyer, you're just a lawyer. If you're an economist, you're just an economist. No, I'm an economist. I'm an actor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a model. I'm a voiceover artist. Whatever comes along, and I feel like I can do it, then I take it as well. You know what I'm saying? And so just be flexible with that which you want to do, because sometimes you want to do something. Let's say you're a great speaker and you think, okay, maybe I need to be a presenter, but maybe you're a great speaker to be a great teacher, or you're a great speaker to be on radio. So you just have to be open to see where exactly this gifting of yours is actually meant to be.
But it sounds to me like you were an entrepreneur from very young, so you must have had fire in the belly.
You know, my entrepreneurial journey is actually a funny one, because it was like, my dad he used to call me a philosopher. He used to call me an economist, and a bank manager, because my grandparents would, you know how grandparents give you money and things like that. So my grandparents would give me money, and my brothers and sisters would spend theirs on like sweets and stuff, and I would keep mine, like I would save it. You know, and then I'd save it in the piggy bank, and the piggy bank gets full, and then I save it in like, you know when you've got your lotion and the lotion finishes the tub, yeah, and then I start putting the money inside there, and literally, and it got to a point where I started lending money to family members. You know, family members were like, whoa, actually saying this, it reminds me, I think I still got some family members who owe me money, and that interest. Yeah, the interest would be like super, but like it's literally just little disciplines, little techniques and tricks, and also being able to have a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? I recently found out that the I think it's Mandarin, or the Mandarin word for crisis is also the same word for opportunity. So whenever, yeah, so every crisis is an opportunity. So whenever there's a problem, instead of complaining about it, I think you must put my name there. Just mention me when you when you steal that. Yeah. Yeah. So within every crisis, there's an opportunity. So when we say crisis, people are thinking like big things like Corona and that kind of stuff. It's not necessarily, crises don't have to be like a big thing. You look at something small. I mean, the guy who invented, okay, maybe it's not small, but the guy who invented a phone was probably someone who was tired of, you know, having a landline and not being able to walk outside and call someone, you know. So you just look at things that you are frustrated about and find a solution to them. Instead of complaining, you find a solution. You know, you find what ways can I contribute to making the situation better. And that's how I was as a kid. I was actually an introvert, and I'll just sit and observe people and see, okay, so this is the problem that they have. How could they solve this? They could do A, B, C, D, and then, you know, and I think entrepreneurial journeys also started like that. Unfortunately, I didn't start my first company when I was a kid. I'm not like one of those prodigies. I wrote my first book when I was a kid. I think I was like 7. It was called Tommy the Billionaire, but that's a story for another day. But like my first business, my first business was first year of varsity. I looked at my friends and I looked at what I have. So I'm really good in front of the camera, and I'm good at directing and script writing, and, you know, coming up with ideas. And one of my friends was a good videographer and a good cameraman, and another friend was a good sound engineer. And so we're like, why don't you just start a production company? And we looked at a lot of the things that was going on TV, and it was speaking to a certain number of people and was ignoring a certain percentage of people. Because you know how people say, oh, there's nothing to watch on TV, but that's an opportunity. Then create something to watch on TV. Create something that what, you know, when you say there's nothing to watch on TV, what are you thinking, or what do you want to watch? Or even ask people what they want to watch. What are they in the mood for? What stories are not being told? And so we created a company. It was called, we were young. Well, it was first year of us, so I think I was like 19. So it's like, we called the company Blonde Moment Media, because it was like, you know, every great idea, every great idea first starts like a blonde moment. It first starts like a dumb idea. You can imagine the guy who said, I'm going to create a device that you're going to put on your ear and you're going to hear someone on the other side of the world. People are like, that's a blonde moment. That's dumb, you know? And so that's where the name blonde moment comes from. It's like having a great idea that's first seen as nonsensical, but then the more you push it, the more you believe in your dream, the more you go out with it, and you know, you're going to change the world, you're going to change the narrative, and you're going to change the way things are done forever. And you shouldn't be afraid of taking that step because other people don't see it. You know, your vision is not the same as other people, and your vision, you know, some people have 20/20 vision, some people are colorblind, some people are what I call vision blind. So you can have a vision and they won't be able to see it. And so you can't rely on their opinion or on their lack of vision, you know, to run your race. You just run your race despite what they say. You know what I'm saying? You push what you need to do, you put in the work that you need to put in, and then you continue doing what you need to do and what has been placed in your heart. So yeah, started my first company when I was 19. It's not the great prodigy story of those who started at 5 years old, but it's a cool one, I guess.
It's a pretty cool one, but the thing is, you know, people that are watching are like, okay, I hear what you're saying. I hear that we have to kind of not be blinkered and really like understand what we're looking at here so that we can find opportunities. But what if people are lacking confidence? What if they are too shy, or they're too scared, or they're afraid of people laughing at them? What would you say to them? Because you seem like a really confident guy, and whereby you don't really care what people think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tricky space. For me personally, I'm just like, well, there's a couple of things. You've probably seen the memes of African parents and that kind of stuff. My parents would always tell me things like, but will you die? You know, it's like, yeah, they laughed at you. Yeah, they laughed at you, but will you die? Will you die from people laughing
But will
at
you
you?
die?
You know, when I was growing up, we weren't fortunate. Like, we didn't have all the cash and whatever. So some of the clothes we had to wear were like big clothes. My parents would buy us big clothes so that we can grow into it, like 3 years wearing the same like school shirt type of thing, you know. And you'd be like, oh, but mom, you know, people are gonna laugh at me at school. You're like, yeah, but will you die? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I love that.
So you have to get to a point where, and also you have to get to a point where you decide what is more important to you.
Wow.
Is succeeding more important to you, or is fitting in more important to you? You know, is your dream more important to you, or is people's opinion more important to you? Is achieving that which you is in your heart, that is burning your heart, more important than you? You know, getting out of your current situation, making a difference for yourself, for your family, for your community, is that more important to you, or is the fact that other people are going to laugh at you more important to you? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times people laugh at you because they secretly wish they had the courage to do that which you are doing. So in a way, they kind of wish they were you, but they're laughing at you just to kind of discourage you. It's that whole yeah, it's that whole crab in the bucket thing where the different crabs will just pull each other down while one is trying to go up, you know. You just get to a space where you have to decide, you know what, right now I don't care if they're gonna laugh at me. You know, I don't care if they are going to say whatever it is that they're gonna say. I'm gonna push my dream. I'm gonna go for whatever it is that I believe, and I'm gonna go for whatever it is that is in my heart. And I know it's not gonna be easy, because it's not gonna be easy. Anything worth doing is not always easy. You know, there's gonna be tough times, but you have to be willing to stick through it, push it, push through, put the good work in, put the hard work in, and try be smart and find a new way of doing that which you want to do. And a lot of the times, if you solve a problem, that's why I was saying, you know, the whole crisis. Entrepreneurship is basically true entrepreneurship, and true business is actually solving a problem, finding a solution to a problem. So if you find a solution to a problem, yes, people will laugh at you in the beginning, but when you're solving the problem, ain't nobody gonna be laughing when you're solving their problem. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
sorry, how did you do that again?
Exactly, you know, and also if you're making them more money, no one's gonna be laughing at you if you're making them more money. And also, it's hard to laugh at someone that's richer than you, you know, that's wealthier,
So
that's
hard.
wealthier, or that's happier
Really
than you.
hard.
You know, yeah, or someone that's way happier. You can laugh at them, but if they're also laughing at themselves, that's also another thing. We always hear people say, don't take yourself too seriously. Personally, I grew up in a family that's always making jokes. We're always laughing at ourselves. You know, so don't be afraid to laugh. I mean, it really lightens up the mood. It puts you in a space where you're like, if I can laugh at myself, it's okay if other people laugh at me. I mean, it is what it is, you know, as long as I'm doing what I believe I can do. I'm putting in the work, I'm moving towards where I want to be.
People stopping you can also sometimes be even your own family.
Yeah.
They have their own fears, and they think that, you know, they're doing the best by you, because
Yeah.
what they're actually doing is that sometimes love can be quite suffocating, and it can
Yeah.
actually stop you in your track. So for anyone watching, this isn't just about friends or people that you know that could potentially, you know, stop you from achieving what it is that your heart is burning to do, but it could also be from your closest ones. It could be from your husband, it could be from your wife,
Yeah.
from, you know, your family. And it's very, you've got to really kind of be very in tune with yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't want to hurt anyone at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So you've got to really understand, you know, what you're doing, if it really is the right thing to do. And if you feel that it is, well, then run with it, because eventually people will start seeing things differently. What I want to also ask you is, who were your mentors?
I think so. As you probably picked up, I'm like a very spiritual person. It's gonna sound weird, but in a way, I'm like the essence of who Jesus was kind of like one of my major mentors. What I mean by that is, a lot of people just see Jesus in one way. I look at him in so many different ways, in the sense that he was a disruptor. Like Jesus didn't care what people thought about him. Like, he was just coming out in these streets. He was just doing his own thing. He was moving with what he believed he was meant to do. Even if it was making the hard choices, he was willing to make the hard choices for his purpose, for his destiny. So for me, that was a big mentor. I was blessed to have a great father and a great mother, like great parents, who loved each other. And I was able to grow up in a loving home. And just seeing the way my dad treated my mom with so much love, with so much respect. They literally like best friends. I remember my dad would travel a lot, but when he would travel, my mom I'd wake up to my mom laughing at his jokes. You know, early in the morning, just her laughing and laughing.
Oh.
It is beautiful, and I know the world that we're living in, with people being in entanglements and things like that, it's not common. So I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful that he could have been, you know, could have chosen to go a different route, but he chose to be the man that he is, my dad. And also my mom chose to be the woman that she is, and raise us in the way that they raised us. Coming from a French-speaking, so Congo is French-speaking, it's Francophone, and coming from a French-speaking country to an English-speaking country with a different culture and everything, and then doing whatever it takes to raise us so there's three of us, my brother and my sister as well, raising us in the way that they did, giving of whatever it is. They are great role models as well. And then we have, I mean, the likes of Nelson Mandela, the likes of Barack Obama, the likes of TD Jakes, the likes of even Oprah, Patrice Lumumba. These are all people who decided to get out of their comfort zone and do something for others. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Regardless of odds against them.
Exactly, and there were many odds against them. I mean, and that's what I really love. I just love looking at people like that who are willing to step out of where their comfort zone, willing to step out of just where they are, and despite what people are saying, despite the odds put against them, despite the different trials and triumphs, they are willing to take that step forward and make a difference in their society and in the lives of many people that they may never ever meet.
If you could give us a book to read, to get us on our way, that's inspirational or motivational or help us in business or whatnot, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Recommend us. Harmony.
You're putting me on.
What book would you recommend me? Let me try it out.
So there are a lot of books. Miles Monroe is also one of the people that I really look up to. He's very smart, very intelligent. I think he's got a book called Purpose.
Okay.
So check that out. I'm loving Belong by Michelle, because it's about the journey. Also the Long Walk's Freedom. And then I read other books like okay, I read also business books. So things like Africa is Open for Business, which looks at some of the great businesses that have opened up within Africa. It's by an author, Oliver. He's got a very interesting surname, but I will find it out and I'll send it to you. But I really look at a lot of inspirational books that that speak about people's journeys and how they overcame what it is, what situation that they were going through, and how you could do the same. Yes, your story may not be the same, but the
No.
principles are the same. You
Right.
know, you are in a space where you know, you can feel in the depths of your heart that you need to move forward, that there's a purpose, that you're called for something bigger, and you know, you have the option to either ignore it, to squash it, or to rise up and disturb whatever it is that's going on in your life and move forward. I'm also a motivational speaker, so when I speak to corporates and when I speak to kids at school and universities, I always tell them, yes, follow your passion, follow your dream, but also remember your responsibilities. Because I think a lot of the times we always want to follow our dream, we always want to follow our passion, but if you've got kids, make sure that kid's going to school. You know, if you got bills to pay, make sure you're paying those bills as well. You want to be a musician, I don't mind you being a musician, but also make sure that your kids are have a father at home. You know, your kids have a mother. You know, you want to be a slay queen, hey, that's all on you. Just make sure your children know that the you know, their mother loves them, and she's willing to do whatever it takes in order for the family to be great, for you guys to have a meal on the table, type of thing. So push your dreams, follow your passions, but also remember your responsibilities.
Harmony, what would you advise or tell your younger self?
Um, don't sleep too much.
True. You just,
Like,
tomorrow's not promised. You just don't know. We haven't got time. We've got to do it now.
you know what I'm saying? And I think another thing, sleeping, yes, and when I say that, I'm joking around. I'm talking about the physical sleeping, actually sleeping, but I'm also talking about sleeping on yourself. You know, go out for the opportunities and go 100. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the times I I chilled. I was very relaxed. I was doing a lot of stuff. I was playing sports. I was playing basketball. I was playing rugby. I was doing athletics, and then I was also in the choir. And we have a system here of colors. I don't know if you guys have it there in the UK. We have, if if you're really great at what it is that you're doing, whether it's sports, whether it's academics, they give you colors. So colors is just your blazer, your uniform is
Oh yeah,
different.
we used to have that in school. Yes,
Yeah.
I was blue hat. Yes, yes, we did.
Yeah, so I mean, I was just out there doing a lot of the things, but I don't think I pushed to the level that I could have. And I think, if anything, that was like one of my biggest regrets, because now I'm just like, man, if I had pushed, imagine how much I would have, how much more I would have achieved, how much more I would have succeeded. And that's the one thing I'll tell myself: just go hard, just go 100 at it, just keep pushing. I think I was giving like 70, and you're always happy when you give like 70. I mean, 70% is good, it's good, but you could be better, so I'm
Yeah,
just telling myself to just,
we fall into distractions as well, like partying, hanging out with friends. There's all this stuff now, like playing
yeah.
Fortnite and Xbox and PlayStation, and I just see like guys literally just spending hours and
Yeah.
hours in front of a computer game, and I'm like, do you think you're going to live forever? Because you're really not. Like, do you not have goals and stuff that you want to achieve? So I absolutely love what you're saying there. So this now, oh,
No, it's not. No, don't worry. It's not me. Remember, I'm at my friend's house at the studio. So
it's your friend. Whoops. Anyway, the game to watch this interview. So, so the thing is, Harmony, I'm going to ask you my final question. It's a question that I ask everyone, and that is, if you had a magic wand and you could change one thing in the world, only one thing, what would it be and why?
Whew. Man, that is.
I mean, I've been trying to not
That is
off
that is
your
that
chair.
is a hectic question. One thing,
No, it is what it
man.
is.
You know what I would. So one of the things that I want to do. Well, one of the reasons why I'm a motivational speaker. I used to be a counselor for like 6 years at the youth. I was like a youth leader and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that I would kind of like change is perspective. Because when you change people's perspective, then they start seeing what really is important and what isn't. And when you change perspective, then people start focusing, instead of, you start realizing that, okay, maybe greed is not the right way to go. Maybe hate is not the right way to go. Maybe I'm seeing this wrong. So if you change people's perspective, then maybe they can change the way that they see things. It's going to change the way, I'm going to change the way that they do things. And, you know, hopefully it's going to lead us to a better world, you know, where people are doing things, you know, out of love. People are doing things out of thought for other people, you know what I'm saying, and not necessarily for themselves. People are making a difference in other people's lives, and, you know, all because their perspectives are changed. It's like I don't need to steal money. I don't need to be corrupt. I don't need to rob people. I don't need to, you know, to rape. I don't need to assert my you know, myself, or I don't need to be violent. You know what I'm saying? So if people could just change their perspective, then they change the way they think. If you change your perspective, it's basically changing the way you think, changing the way you see things. And when you change the way you see things and you think, change the way you behave. And hopefully that will lead to, you know, a better world.
I always say that when I have, that was a really good answer, by the way. Like, the thing is, when I have a really good answer like that, it's gutting that I actually don't have a magic wand and I can't make this happen. But I think what you're saying is so true. It's like, I guess Mother Teresa had it right, where she was like, things come from love. If you want to stop something, give it love. Don't riot. Don't give it negative energy. Don't go in there, buy drugs, sell drugs, kill, rape, like you said, because actually what you're doing is creating a road for yourself of self-destruction. And people don't seem to understand that. They go by their emotions. It makes them feel good. You know, I feel strong. I feel envious. Like this. And actually what they're doing is like, and this is from the Bible, where, you know, forgive them, Father, for they do not know what they do. And it really is that. And I just want to touch upon something that you said, which was amazing. And for me, I think that if anyone wants the rules to life, the manual to life, the holy book, the holy book, everything's in there.
Exactly.
Everything is in there. It's in there how to make money. It's in there sleep. It's in there about not to fall asleep in yourself. It's in there. There is that book, right, is it. Sorry, I was just getting calls. People are just calling. So it has everything in it. So and people feel embarrassed to be spiritual, to say, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus. People feel embarrassed to say that, because you see, we're in a world where it's so satanic, where it's so, you know, dark, and there's so much bad energy, that energy has made you believe that in order to say that you believe in God makes you uncool. It makes you not part of the gang. It makes you not part of society, of social media, of the way that it is. And what you need to understand, and I don't mean this to be in a preaching way for anyone that's watching, is that it couldn't be further from the truth.
That's such a beautiful thing. You know, when you asked me books, that was the book that I was gonna say, but I'm like, okay, I don't want to just like bash people on the I can literally bet you right now that about 99% of the best self-help books, or those kind of motivational books, whatever, about 90% of the content you can find in the Bible. It's literally just taken from the Bible and just twisted and put it in your own words. Literally,
Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn. All they do is quote from the Bible.
Exactly. And they just twist a few words, and I mean, a lot of concepts are taken from them. I mean, things like for example, I'm not saying karma is taken from the Bible, but I mean something as simple as karma. In the Bible says, do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you. Something as simple as Spider-Man, who says, with great power comes great responsibility. All those little quotes and things that people feel like, oh, these are amazing quotes. Literally, if you go into the Bible, you are gonna find it. And you're right. There's a manual for. It's the manual. It's basically the manual for life. Basically, the manual for life.
It's like people that want to find inner peace, right? You know, I as you know, Harmony, I interview people every single day. I've been doing it for months. And guess what? We all have the same thing in common. We all are trying to find that happiness, trying to
Yeah.
find that peace within us, right? And
Mm.
if you want to find that happiness, and this goes, you know, for people that are, you know, they're suffering from depression, mental health, because we get it. I've interviewed people that, you know, have just come out of rehab, and
Yeah.
the thing is that get close to God.
Yeah.
Get close to God.
Yeah.
You will, all that discomfort, all that anxiety, all that
Yeah.
negativity that you feel, the Lord takes it away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does. It does, Harmony. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, I don't even
I feel like
know
we're getting into another session. I'm just like, man, like now we're about to go
that.
into something deep. No, but it's so true. And I think even for those who aren't Christian or who don't believe or whatever,
Right.
at the end of the day, if you can read a Harry Potter book
Yeah.
that's super thick, you can read the Bible. I mean, just go through it and read it. And the Bible has so many layers. You can read it 100 times, and every single time get something new out of it. You know what I'm saying? And because it opens up so many revelations, so many of the things that God is speaking to you as an individual in every single area of your life. So when you read it when you're young, it means something else to you. The same verse when you're 15 means something else. When you're 18, it means something else. When you're 21, when you're 50, all of them mean something else, because God is constantly speaking to you, depending on which area or which point or which season in your life you're in. So, and also, people shouldn't be afraid if you don't understand something. um I'm even daring to say, hit us up, ask someone, what
True.
does this verse mean, what does this thing mean. I think one of the biggest, I was going to put a tweet the other day, but I always forget to put these tweets. One of the things that I always say is, don't judge God by those who say they are God's people. You know what I'm saying? So don't judge God by those who say they are God's people. So a lot of the times people lose their spirituality because of their experiences with people who claim to be Christian and claim to be God's people. And a lot of the times, those people, you have to remember that people are people. People will make mistakes. People have
We're
their own life
living in
journey.
sin. We're
They
living
have
in
their
sin.
Yeah, we're all like that. I mean, I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. I know I've got a lot of mistakes and stuff like that. It's just that don't look at God's identity based on your experience with man and with people who claim to be people of the cloth, people who claim to be pastors, people who claim to be working at the church and all that kind of stuff. Seek your own relationship with God. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. So seek God first, and God is going to start exposing a lot of things about you yourself that you need to start working on. You got to be ready for that. It's not going to be all roses and candy and everything. He's going to start exposing certain things. If you there's a saying that says, if you ask God for patience, he's not just going to like sprinkle some patience on you. He's going to give you an opportunity to be patient. If you asking God to help you with your insecurities, he's gonna he's gonna put you in situations where you have to address those insecurities. You have to face those insecurities. If you're asking God for courage, he's gonna put you into situations where you have to be courageous. And he's gonna keep putting you in those situations, and you're gonna overcome it. And the more you work with him, people think it's gonna be an instant thing. It's not going to be an instant thing. So you shouldn't expect it to be like an overnight microwave situation where it's just being 30 seconds and yeah. We're living in a microwave time where everyone just wants instant gratification.
Yes.
Yeah, we want things to be
Everything
done
for
like this.
nothing.
We don't want to wait anymore. We don't want to wait. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to wait. It's like the other day I was getting pissed at my phone because it was loading because the Wi-Fi was slow, and then God reminded me, because I really love tech. God reminded me of the old days with the internet that used to just and the picture used to be, and it's like it's like,
Remember.
remember where you come from. So we're in a time where we like instant things. We're in a time where we like things to happen like right now. But when it comes to character development, when it comes to working your heart, when it comes to healing, you have to remember that these are things that are going to take time. For it to be done well, it's going to take time. And so when you come into Christianity, or when you come into walking into a relationship with God, building your relationship with God, it's not just an overnight thing. It's a journey. It's a walk. You walk with him. He's going to expose certain things and tell you, oh, okay, this is how you seeing this. You need to change the way you see this. You need to watch how you do this. Oh, did you see what you did there? And I was blessed that I had that. I always say some of the greatest gifts that my parents gave me, the number one greatest gift was having a relationship with God, my own personal relationship with God. I'd come to them and say something like, oh, what does God say about this? They'll be like, okay, go down on your knees and pray and ask him. You know, it's about building a relationship with God, and having your own personal relationship with God, not what the pastor says or what this person says. Yes, the pastors speak. There are great pastors out there who speak the truth, but you also have to be able to know God for yourself. And if you want to find God, I was on a show, a youth show a few days ago, and they were asking me, oh, how do I get to find God? I'm like, okay, let me be real with you. When you see someone who's cute, let's say you're on Instagram and you see someone who's cute, or you're watching a show, sometimes when you're watching these Netflix shows and you see someone who's cute or you see someone who's interesting, you're like, oh, okay, who's that? So what do? You go onto their profile, you know, you go onto their Instagram and you go through their pictures and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Or you go, old school people going through Facebook and all that kind of stuff. The Bible is basically God's Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So
I
you go there,
love that.
yeah. So you go there and you see all his friends. I mean, David, Joseph, and all these people. You see how he interacts with them. You see the words that he says, what he says, the way he speaks, the way he conversates, the relationships he has. And then you start knowing more about him. And then you start speaking to him. You slide into his DM, slide into God's DM. You start speaking to him and you start saying, yo, you know, you go down on your knees and you shy and you have your conversation. And the more you speak to him, also another thing, when I say prayer, people think that prayer is just sitting down and putting your
Yeah.
hands together. And, you know, prayer is having a conversation. You know, back in the day, they used to speak like, Our Father who art in heaven. That's how they spoke back in the day. But right now, when I pray, I'm just like, yo, homie, like, what's up? Like I say, yo, God,
I
it's
do, me
been
too.
a real
I
day.
treat him
Yeah.
like a close friend.
You know, yeah, because
Me
it's
too.
real. Yeah, I mean, even
Yeah.
you know, the Bible calls David God's friend. You know what I'm saying? There's a song that says, "I am a friend of God," which literally is just, you know, how you can approach Him, and that is going to open up so many doors to so many things. Because you could be super rich, you could be super wealthy, you could have all the businesses and have all the motivation you want, but as long as your character and your heart is not right, it'll be hard for you to have peace. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why we see people committing suicide and all these things, but they're rich, they're wealthy, they're celebs, they're famous, and all that kind of stuff. And you wonder what is going on. There's something that's missing, and that thing that's missing is God. You know, that thing that's
Thank
missing
you.
is God.
Honestly, that was just such a beautiful way to just sum up what has been a very enjoyable, informative, and fun interview. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. It's been
Yeah.
so fun getting to know you. Thank you, God, that I had the opportunity to do so. So please stay in touch.
Yeah, thank you. Can I just say one last thing, just so to give people some practical things in terms of just business or your career or whatever it is that you want to do? I always believe, not to be too spiritual or whatever, but God has placed all the things that you need on the inside of you. Stop looking at other people and saying, oh, this person's good at this person is good at that, that person's a model, that person's an entrepreneur, that person has the money, that person has whatever. And start looking at what God has put inside of you and around you. You know what I'm saying? So your gifts, your skills, your talents. Look at the things that come easy to you. You know, are you good with your hands? Then maybe you should be in a business that is good with building stuff. Are you good creatively? Then maybe you should be in a business that's thinking or strategic. Are you strategic? Then maybe you should be, you know, start looking at the things that you are good at. And a lot of the times people, like we were talking about people laughing at you for the things that you do. Sometimes people will make you feel like the gift that you have is useless. And no, it's not useless. Look at the things that you do well. Look at the gifts that you have. Look at the talents. Look at the skills that you have. And then work on those skills, work on those talents until you become the best at it. And no one can deny how great you are. You know what I'm saying? At that thing that you're doing. And then use that and then monetize that. Use that as a skill. Use that as a way to get resources. And then also we're living in a time where we've got technology. Universities are online. YouTube is one of the biggest informal universities out there. I learned how to edit with YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning so many things, just, you know, and put in the work. Go do it. And if you get stuck, ask. Don't be afraid. Ask, even ask Google if you need to, you know. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, darling. Pleasure to meet you. And I wish you all the very best in whatever it is that you choose to do. And God.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And this was such a great conversation.
My pleasure. Take care, darling.
Bye.
Bye.